Hello, this is Shakir Ahmed. In this tutorial, we will discuss about visualizing different data sets. Especially, we will focus on categorical variables, and we will also discuss some mixed type of variables as well as continuous variables. So, for the data set, um, Google Drive and Google Colab. I have a data set in my download as spoke again. We can import pandas as PD that will used to read the data frame in CSV format, and we can see the data using df.f format uh, command, and get a pie chart using uh, matplot library, and within that we use pipeline that is used for pie chart, and then we import it as plt. Then you can run different commands in plt dot command. So we need to first specify the size of the figure. 6 and 6 mean width and height. Both are 6, means it will be a square in a square area. And then we are making a pie chart using the stroke, and that is stroke status, and the label is whether there is a stroke or not, yes or no. And then uh, auto percentage, it means the data is given in a percentage format, and one means and the decimal is there will be 2 digits after decimal. And then you can has no axis, so we don't need to give any x-axis and y-axis labels. So not for strokes, there are 4.87% strokes and 95% not in the data set. And then we will go for bar plot. Bar plot is widely used statistical data visualization tool for categorical variables. We can uh, frequencies of different categories using the height of the bars. Uh, Again, you need to import the matplot library as PLT, and then you need to specify this area of graph as figure size. And then I'm using work type as the response variable, as the categorical variable, and then value points. And if you want to display the frequent percentages, you can change it to percentage. And then plot kind is equal to bar. It means you are using bar plot. And then PLT, PLT, X label, Y labels, and X sticks. That is 45, and HA is right. So are the X sticks, and HA right means it's from right to left. And then type layout, it means it's the type layout just giving a rectangle outside. And then PLT show will show the plot. So here it is, you can change. For example, I want to change the size width to 10. Check now. we can get a more clear visualization of the bar plot. This is private, self-employed, children, and government job, and never work. So we have these categories of this categorical value. These are we are given the numbers. Those are the frequencies. You can mention as a count, observations, whatever you want to mention, you can write. And on x-axis, this is work type. Although you don't need to mention the X title, but if you can mention, then it's good. Uh, when we want to plot two categorical variables simultaneously, we want to see two variables at the same time. For example, we want to see the work type by gender. Means we want to see there is an interaction between gender and work type. There is an association between these two. Means we can see whether mostly females are working in private sector or mostly males are working in private sector. We can like a multiple bar chart using again using the matplot library as PLT, and then we also use Seaborn package that is imported as SNS. So uh, again, we need to specify the figure size and then SNS count plot. Count plot means you are counting the frequencies of the two variables, and the X variable is work type, and the grouping variable is gender, that is HVP. So this is for the grouping variable. So we are basically grouping data according to gender, and then we are displaying the work type. Then you need to again mention the title, X lab, Y lab, and then X ticks, and then PL plot length. You can also mention a title for plot length, uh, plot legend. These are the title is gender. If you want to give, otherwise you can just keep it empty. And then plot type layout, again you are fitting a square around this, and then plot show. So this is the distribution of work type by gender. And then we have a stack bar chart. Stack bar chart is used to display the categorical variable according to different categories of another variable. It's a kind of multiple bar chart, but we are displaying the two proportions, the male and female, in the same bars, just showing the proportion of individuals, male individual and female individual for each work category. So again, uh, work gender count, that is, uh, we are creating a count for uh, just as a two by two table. How many people, how many females are there in work type one and in private group, and how many females are there in uh, public, and so on. So then the size, and then underscore. So then you need to specify the figure size and then work gender code plot. First you specify the codes, and then you are plotting this, and you are keeping a bar, and then step is equal to true. And then x-axis plot, you are giving uh, the names to the x-axis. And you can just see x ticks are rotation just like that, and then plot legend, gender, and plot again it's in tight layout. So you can just run this. You can change the variables here. For example, if you want to see different proportion of individuals within a specific gender, then you can just interchange these two, and accordingly you will get the state bar charts. Now, the most important plot for continuous variable is scatter plot. Scatter plot is just to see the relationship between different variables in a data set. We can just visualize through a scatter plot. So, doing certain analysis, for example, doing analysis or some type of association analysis, we need to check whether there is a relationship between the variables or not using the scatter plot. So scatter plot is just made for only two variables, but scatter plot matrix uh, can be constructed for more than two variables. We can uh, plot different pair of variables in a same figure. So I have selected uh, three variables, age, BMI, and average glucose level from my data set, and then using again using the Cbone package, that is the SNS. You need to install that package as well. You need to import. I have already imported that. That's why I didn't mention here. And then you can give a subtitle. You can just use pair plot is the command under SNS Cbone package, and then the data set you have extracted. This is a data set basically containing these columns. If you want to make a scatter plot for whole data set, then you can just keep it as DF. So first for the selected variables, and then if we want to keep variable is just as empty, you can see the scatter plot matrix between all the variables in our data that you can see. But most of the variables are categorical, so this does not make sense. We don't need to make a scatter plot for the categorical variables. But just as a reference, if you have a lot of variables, you can just put in data frame and then make scatter plot. Scatter plot shows this type of relation. When we say that there is no relationship between age and glucose level, there is some relationship, positive relationship between age and glucose level, if you can see. But the, the dots goes on a line to the 45-degree line, closer to the 45-degree line, you can say there is a strong relationship between uh, age and average glucose level. Similarly, you can see the relationship between BMI and average glucose level, but this is also not strong, but there is a little relationship between these two variables. Now, uh, you say you can just scale the strength of association on a line on a scale. Zero means there is no relationship, and one means there is a strong relationship, linear relationship between the two variables. So again, we are importing matplot library as PLT, and then we find correlation matrix. You will get the correlations. These are the values of the correlations. Point to a correlation between age and hypertension. You can see, and similarly, you can see the 0.26 correlation between heart disease and age and so on. But remember, you again need to keep only continuous variables to make a heat map between the two variables. But we can also make a heat map for the uh, for for example, you can see the concordance between the two series to responses. Then we can also make a heat map, and we can check whether there is a concordance between the two responses to measurements or not. Heat map. So the darker the color, there is a stronger association between the two variables. So you can see a strong variable between the variable and the variable itself, but there is a weaker relationship between uh, different variables. So this is somehow stronger in between here, around here. And if it's close to one, then it will be red, but there is no red color here in the variables. But if you can see, we have two average glucose level and glucose level 2. So these two variables are same. That's why we are getting. This is just a transform glucose level, I think, after intuitive pharmacy values and something like that. So we are getting the correlation one between average glucose level and average glucose level. These are all about the displaying data, and we have other type of different ways of displaying data set. For example, forest plot and survival curves and other type of uh, uh, data visualization tools. But we will discuss when we reach to the regression indices and in those sections. We will discuss those visualization tools. Thank you for watching, and if you have any question, you can always write in the comment section. Thank you.